Alright, welcome to the realm of Millenia. Be ye man, woman, child, spirit, creature, or maybe even the Mahan. Be ye a native migrator, or maybe even an innovator into the realm. Welcome, for I am your host, the Millennium Mailman, here today, and I'll be world building for you long after you've already begun to acclimate and fit in. So go ahead, sit back, relax, and by all means, please do enjoy, for I will be starting to deep dive into this Theater Thursday as I go over a new character who, for now, is just going to be dubbed Restart. Right? And Restart is effectively centered around exclusively his power, which is why he's called Restart. And his power allows him, to his knowledge, to pretty much exclusively only really go back in time. But part of his power is the second ability called Rebirth, and he doesn't know anything about his power at all, for real, and so he just uses it willy-nilly. But ultimately he does eventually figure out a few new things from restarting a million different times, because every time he encountered something he didn't like or didn't want to happen, he would just restart. And when he noticed the Rebirth ability and a few of the benefits to using the Rebirth ability, he just started spamming it like a red button in a command center room that no one put the word self-destruct on. So he just pressing it. Rebirth, restart. He's just spamming it because ultimately, in his mind, there's nothing but benefits. Right? But again, his power is tied to time, and anytime we really talk about powers and particular abilities of time, we always talk about space-time and the rippling effect of space-time through. So I took a narrative sequence liberty on making my own narrative concept script around trying to display the fact that this is a very dumb guy, and his every single action has consequences, so that he and no one else would have initially fathomed to be important in any capacity, right? So what I had done there was integrate two different storylines of importance, such that we are introduced to the character of Beach, as in Sandy Beach, not the cuss word. Introducing the very villainous threat of Beach. We can pretend to call him Sandman for ease of understanding, where I have this Sandman-esque villain who is wildly OP, coming in to destroy the multiverse as we could ever possibly know and understand, right? And the audience's introduction to the Sandman character is through the character of Restart, who is just this ignorant dummy who doesn't know what he's doing. So this ignorant dummy who eventually comes to understand comes to the understanding through the use of his Restart and Rebirth abilities, which are my stand failed me. Alrighty, that was pretty that is wild. I'm gonna see if I can't put it here somewhere lower then. That was so dangerous of you. How dare you? How dare. But yes, uh, that'll work. But effectively, Restart comes to know more about his power when he accidentally uses it in a way that allows him to travel across space and time to meet another version of himself through going through a dimensional plane of existence wormhole that allows him to meet this other version of himself that we'll call New Restart. So our good old Restart meets New Restart. They have a nice, lovely conversation. And it goes something like this. New Restart. So effectively, all the timelines actually eventually converge sooner and sooner with every sort of reincarnation or rebirth, as you say you dubbed that ability. Why? Because time and space kind of like hate, extra real hate being altered. And thus, every time someone or something changes time or space, it creates ripples and waves throughout all of time and the rest of time and space. And the ripples it deems necessary to balance out the action will eventually ripple into effect, cause and effect reaction, where even if you don't think you can see it happening in your universe, it effectively screws up another guy's universe. And whatever they or the next guy does in order to do something about it happening in their universe will affect another guy's universe or come back and affect your universe. Again, giving the perception of luck and fate that I, New Restart, have dubbed the immortal time loop by me. It's been dubbed that way of me, of course, because this New Restart is a pompous scientific genius who just knows everything about his power and ability, unlike trusty dusty Restart that right. So here's the New Restart still talking. So quick question: how many times did you rebirth before you figured out your world was ending faster than you could save it? 10 times, 20, 10, 5 times, 10 times, 21, 20 times, huh? No, 40 times maybe? Oh my. It took you a large number of times. It happens. We all take a good number of times before we realize that we can't really fix it. And then we realize how to get to here, to this shared universe of all the restarts. But I am curious, how many times did it take you? You can look at your system panel. I don't see why you would need to look at your system panel. It's crazy, man. Right? But it goes crazy. It goes awesome because excuse me. But the thing that's awesome, wild, and insane and crazy about it is the whole fact that Restart was just clicking that button because he learned pretty early on how his power works, and he's a dummy. So I'm not trying to make it the science of this particular ability 100% accurate. This is just the way I chose to articulate it for the sake of this particular plot point around this character. This may not at all be by any means true, but here's how I will explain it for you. Think of it like a couple pieces of paper. Okay. Think of it as a couple different pieces of paper. Different pieces of paper are all parallel. Parallel sheets of paper, like the lines on the paper are all parallel. That's how most people see time and the different timelines. your timeline, this happens, that timeline, that happens, all different. They're all entirely mutually exclusive. There's no crossover. The way a new restart goes about explaining and expressing it, if you didn't understand it in that text, is that while it may seem that all the timelines are very much different and so far apart, they're diverse like that, in reality, at some point, all the timelines do really converge, right? And the more you are pressing and spamming that particular ability, you're forcing the timelines to converge sooner and sooner and sooner. Where, let's say we began like this, all the timelines naturally so far apart, it looks like they never ever touch, right? They just at the end of all space and time, they touch. The more you use this ability, the closer this sort of paradox of the timelines converging happens, the more abrupt it is. And at a certain point, if you used it like 1,000,000 times, this is how much sooner the universe, your universe and your timeline would end, right? Your universe and timeline would effectively end because other timelines, or the convergence of the timelines, would be happening sooner and sooner because of how many times you use the ability. So at the end of that paragraph, new restart is like asking, okay, how many times did it take you to figure out how to get here so that we could delay the convergence of all the timelines? How many times did it take you? And this is his response. Like 5, 10, 20 times or something. Yeah, go ahead and look at your thing. 7. Yeah, that's pretty fast. T, 70 times. That's pretty crazy. 72. Okay. The laughing kind of stops. 72,000. His eyes start to bulge. And he's like, wait, did he just say freaking thousand? Did he just say 1,000? His eyes start reddening and burning like something's in them. Times something like 10 to the... I know he did not just start doing exponents. What is he talking about? My new restart's eyes are bulging out of his socket like a Looney Tunes character. His breath quickens, and you could hear a pin dropped from a state away. You could hear a pin drop from a state away. How quiet every version of Restart in this Spider-Man multiverse of madness. You can hear a pin drop from a mile away because every Restart in this room is like, oh my God. Did he just say 72,000 times 10 to the something? Like, what do you mean times, right? Please don't do exponents. Please don't do exponents. And he just keeps talking. His breath starts to quicken. 10 to the 6th. No way. For the love of G. 16th. Oh my gosh, he's still going. 16th what? Centimeters? Please say centimeters. To the 16th hundredth power. Oh my gosh. Kill me now. He did not just say 1600 at the end of that. Please. Please. New Restart's mouth is just agape like, oh, no. Tears falling from the impossibility. What do you mean? 1600th power? Impossible. The timelines converged yesterday. The end of the universe ended yesterday. What do you mean? If that were true, all of the universe would have, shoulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda ended yesterday. What is happening? He just starts foaming and frothing at the mouth. New restart. And restart is just like, okay, don't be mad. The universe hasn't ended yet. So we should be fine. Right? We'll be okay. We'll be fine. It'll be awesome. I'm here now. We're talking. And this new restarts immediately wakes up like, you imbecile. No. The rest of us would have been fine if you hadn't joined us, but now that you have joined us, we're probably all screwed. That's not how the math works. We were very much like on a certain level of mutual exclusiveness, but the moment you managed and figured out how to connect with us, that means all the math of your destroyed universe really does converge at some point with all of our timelines. So you used it 72,000 times 10 to the 16th hundred power. You used the ability that many ridiculous times. That means all of existence for every last one of us is coming that much sooner at the speed of a bullet train. The end of everything trying to crush us for messing with space-time is like that. But New Restart doesn't as manage to articulate it so nicely as I did. Just like, you imbecile! Are you so weak and pathetic that you never learned a single thing before even using the ability? You used the ability so recklessly. What did you have? Shiny red button disease? Get out, get out. When we restart, when we rebirth, we start over. The system recognizes you, your accomplishments you made and everything before you rebirth. What were you doing? What you should have been doing before you pressed the rebirth button was reaching your peak, because when you rebirth, you take everything with you. All of your skills, all of your awesomeness, you just lived for what, half a second, a fraction of a second, and then pressed the rebirth again just to see what would happen? What is wrong with you? Ugh. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. There's no reason why. It's so unreasonably hard for the rest of us to even make our deserved accomplishments. Just frothing out the mouth yet again. Do you have rabies? New Restart? Moment of silence. And with that, New Restart is like, rabies. Beep, 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 beep. No. Bots! Robots! Bots, please! Yes, sir. Yes, master. Anything he's touched, anything he's thought about, put it into the black hole, and put that black hole in a black hole and launch it into the furthest reaches away from this time-space continuum. Right now. Yes, right now. Collect up everything he's touched, put it in a black hole, launch it in a black hole, and launch it into a different timeline very, very far away from here that we know will never open again. And then with him panicking, all the other restarts in this dimension are starting to catch on to what New Restart just had a eureka moment for. And they're like, oh no, whoa, we must abandon ship. They're all running around, rat racing, collecting documents, burning documents, running away, and heaving ho to their own timeline dimensions, never to reconvene a second time in all of existence, because they just realized something. Now, Restart is trying to talk to New Restart, like, wait, whoa, I don't think I know what you guys are talking about. Of course you don't. You never made it far before you pressed the rebirth button. Golly, dude. He's like, can you explain to me? He's like, no. The whole universe is probably fully infected by now. Launch them back. Launch them back quickly, robots. Please. We must abandon this universe for any other. So Restart just really wants to ask the question, and then New Restart is yelling at his face. Beach! Again, not the cuss word, the plot of land made of sand. Beach! Stay away from me! Get answered on the way out, but we need to launch the self-destruct in a black hole and initiate protocol BCH! ... Inaudible murmurs. There's too little time! Larry! ... And our New Restart shoves good old Restart into an escape pod that's going to send him back to his dimension and kick him out, wherein click, 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 you just see him in the vacuum of space in an escape pod that's trying to open up a wormhole back to Restart's natural dimension. And in the distance, looking out the escape pod window, looking at the place that he was just at with the other Restarts, you just see it slowly begin to be engulfed and encased in a crystalline structure before it self-implodes into a black hole that gets eaten by another black hole and explodes before being eaten by another black hole after that and blipping away. And as Restart witnesses that, ... there's a static silence inside the escape pod, ... system message. Do you choose to restart or rebirth? ... Selection? Would you like to confirm? ... No. ... Yes. ... Yes. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the realm of Millenia. Because the overarching factor in that is the way black holes work is that you die. There's no hope other than you die, right? So when they all decided on that, they effectively, all the Restarts were getting in escape pods to minimize their sensation of the death that they realized they needed to do. The only hope for any of them to not be ruined and infected permanently was to just straight up die, but not die through the torturous method of staying on board with the entity that the dumb Restart brought into the vessel. So they all fled into escape pods and allowed themselves to be fully eviscerated from black hole tugs and pull and shredding them apart so they die instantly as opposed to dying slowly from the beast that the dumb version of them brought on board without even knowing it. So the final little line about here, static silence before system message, would you like to restart or rebirth, was him dying and getting asked by the system, okay, now that you have died, would you like to restart and head back to your universe, or well, what are we doing here? I guess I'll rebirth one more time. Start from the very beginning. It's like he never learned his lesson. He just has that shiny button syndrome. So he rebirths yet again, wherein he hears the very first message he heard at the time of awakening. Welcome to the realm of Millenia. I am your system. And these are your powers. Restart and reset. It's like, oh wow. Diabolical, if you ever ask me. But yes, that is pretty much it. Before I get off topic and digress, that has been Theater Thursday. I hope you very much enjoyed. Go ahead, leave a like, comment, share, or subscribe if you feel like it. Dislike the video if you don't. Perfectly fine. Do not mind. Go ahead, do any one of those. Excuse me. Do any one of those things, and by all means, peace. Have a good day. And I'll be. Goodbye.